Out of stuff. Yay. Okay, thanks, Nikki,
Yay.
for doing this. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, so here we have Niki Harings here,
Hi there.
PhD, because she'll never say that. Dr. Niki Harings here for Mama Mondays, Moon Day, Mummy, Nurturing. So she is my dear friend and has nurtured me through a lot of, crucial times.
And
And
vice versa.
yeah, right. Yeah, nurtured me through such crucial times. And that's one thing that we wanted to talk about today because we go through soul contracts, and I really feel that Nikki and I were bonded because of our soul contract with some heavy stuff that we had to undergo, and she led the path. She paved the path for me in my journey with my second son. So I'm really grateful for her, and I'm really grateful for her presence. And yeah, let's just dive in with Nikki Herings, Dr. Herings.
I
Just
always thank you. Thank you for having me, and what an honor to, I don't know, to recap this experience with you and our journey of our how our friendship came to be. And friendship doesn't feel like it even covers it because it just became such an immediate sisterhood. Um, one would think that it was yoga that brought us together, but really how you showed up in my life when I had just had a baby and I was about to start chemo, or maybe I had started it. But you showed up for me, and I feel like and you never really left. Like you just stayed part of my life and such an anchor for me in that. And then to get to return the favor, just who would have thought? It's just so beautiful. I'm so grateful. I'm trying not to get emotional, but I might.
I know, right? We'll let it be because I know I'm gonna probably
Yeah.
end up crying, but it's the moon. It's to do. But
I know, right?
so little backstory, Nikki and I, like, I've known of her way before Indigo was opened. I believe it was when you were doing your yoga training. Um, and you guys did like an arm balance workshop at DDY, and I attended, and then I remember seeing. I was like, oh, this is the girl that does Reiki. Like I remember that was like a little plug in my head. And around when did you do your teacher training, Nikki? I forget.
I think it was 2014.
2014. Okay. And
Yeah.
when did you do your teacher training? It has to be way before that, right?
I think that's when I did it Reiki. I had done like 2010, but I think it was 2014. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
if I
okay.
remember
And
right.
for some reason,
Yeah.
it seems like it was like 2012 or something, like long ago, but I knew of her. And what was interesting is that I was pregnant, and then you were pregnant, and our due dates were like a week apart. And we're like, wow, there's so many babies that are being born in the June, right?
Yeah.
And that like was in my periphery, like that you were
Yeah.
pregnant at the same time, but I haven't like really met you yet. So that's the backstory,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and I attended like a boutique class of yours. That was my first indigo experience. And I was just like, wow, she's amazing. You had your hair shaved and you're
Yeah,
such a badass.
long ago, long ago. Yeah, so then, but what I don't remember, but I remember Gary, my husband. So for those of you, because I feel like it's such a small number, my husband had saw a post about you. Someone posted about your procedure that's gonna come, that you were pregnant and then like diagnosed with cancer at I don't remember how you were pretty far along because I was like, I remember like I don't know. He
It was
told me and
34 weeks.
34 my heart just like
Mm.
and I couldn't even like it was just because it's where I was probably if she's 34, I was probably 32 weeks. And that
Yeah.
like energy just like my heart just like got squashed and it was just this like pain that came over and I can't even imagine what you went through. So do you want to share that since
Sure.
like, that because for me it was just like I can't
Yeah.
hear it. Don't tell me. I don't want to hear it. Like it was just like a
Mhm.
dismissal of information for me.
For sure. As a biologist, I know what cancer is. So I guess February of that year, 2018, I saw something growing in the back of my throat, and so I kind of knew already. And being pregnant, I was very aware of that. Like I don't want to transfer any of that like fear and worry to my kid. So I definitely leaned into my history of coaching and everything. And when I finally got the diagnosis, like May, end of May, finally had somebody look at it and was willing to look at me because I was pregnant, um I was like, okay, I'm gonna get everything this came here to teach me. And that it felt like just this voice dropped in, like, okay, let's get everything this came here to teach me. And just knowing, having that validation, I felt so empowered. Like, let's do whatever from every angle. Like, how can we get through this? And I'm motivated to be there for my kid, obviously. So I was like, let's go. What do we need to do? And um, we somebody put a GoFundMe together. I'm so grateful for that. That was helpful, but it also, it is like shining a light on this vulnerable time. So then the whole world knew what I was navigating, which was vulnerable and scary, but also the way people showed up, like you, and it was just such a blessing. And yeah, there was a lot of silver lining that came through and a lot of really beautiful things, but I wouldn't have wished that on anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, to hold life and have this.
Mhm.
Like you hold it so well, but like the initial wasn't it so like holy shit. Did you
Yeah,
did you have a moment of that? Because you hold it so well. Did you even have a moment of it?
I did. I immediately called my mom.
No.
Mhm. She was who I knew. Well, I knew she would care the most,
Of course.
and she would know
Yeah.
what to say or whatever, or and she was like, okay, like we got this, and it was, yeah, letting her know like this is what's going on. And then she rearranged her life and came to be with me for the first 3 months of Aaliyah's life. And yeah, it was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like since, it's so important as a dental field, as a dentist, all these things, like why was it like what happened? Like did they not do oral screening at your dental exams or because I remember you said you had a difficulty swallowing, right?
Mhm.
That's and then you looked
Yeah.
at the bath or you choked on a candy or something
Yeah.
and you were like, what is that growing in my throat? So
Yeah, it was
you see it,
middle of the night. Yeah,
yeah?
I could see it. I was working at the university. I was teaching at the time, and I yeah, I was often there alone in the middle of the night. So I was eating like a gummy or something, like a fruit snack, and it felt weird. So I went and looked with a flashlight in my mouth, and I could see it on my tonsil. And I was like, wow, that's not supposed to be there. And I kind of monitored it over time, and it was growing in different directions at different rates. And that is the definition of cancer. and so I told the nurse I was talking about or talking to, and she was helping me, and she was like, we will, we'll deal with that after you have the baby. We grow weird things when we're pregnant. And then that didn't sit right. So I asked another person. I went to the ER a couple times, and nobody would biopsy it until I talked to my primary, and he got me in the same day with an ENT here, and he's like, "Yeah, let's snip it," and it felt like a pizza burn. You just like cut it, and the next day was
It was
like, "Yeah, this is what we're dealing."
it was
Yeah.
accessible
Oh
to
yeah.
biopsy.
Yeah. Just yeah.
Wow. So then any dental field person would be able to see this.
Yeah. And
See
I
this
don't
is
know,
so
like if I
important.
had just never went to the dentist during that time or
Like it's not, it shouldn't grow overnight. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. I just want to bring awareness there because I just feel like
yeah.
that's the thing. Like no, like at a dental exam, we're so medical field push for numbers, push for numbers, push for numbers from like the higher up. Like get that quota, get that quota. If you're working in a community clinic or if you're working in a private practice, I don't know, maybe some other motive is there, like the money is there, but the real reason we're there is prevention. And then like this could have been prevented so much earlier before maybe she got pregnant. And it just like it just makes me so angry. Sorry. It just and then can you share about the cancer that you had? What was it? Because this is another educational piece that I think is so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, it was squamous cell carcinoma of the left tonsil, and it was actually HPV related. And I learned that 80% of us carry HPV, and oftentimes nothing happens, and sometimes it turns to cancer, throat cancer, or cervical cancer, and it's very, very common. Like you have no even detection of it in your body. And I had been tested for all of that, and never had like a positive test even for HPV. So it was kind of a surprise to me that that was why I had throat cancer. And then yeah, they snipped it, and then after I had Aaliyah on June 5th, 2 days later, the ENT showed up to check on me, and I said it was kind of annoying during labor. Could he just snip it again? Because it had grown back. And he's like, "Oh, while you're here, let's just do a tonsillectomy." I was like, "Okay." So then June 7th, the next day, I had a tonsillectomy on the left side. And then he said, good thing we did that because there's still cancer in the margins, in the lymph nodes. And so then we did chemo and radiation. We started that 2 weeks after Aaliyah was born. So I got to breastfeed for 2 weeks and feel what it was like to be a normal mom for 2 weeks. And then the journey began. Yeah.
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 Oh my
Then
God.
it was a commitment to mindset, to leaning on the people that wanted to really show up for me. And um, and I did. That was humbling. Um, yeah, I'm like anybody who wants to come shake a rattle or whatever, come on over, and I leaned into all the different types of medicine because that's just what my intuition told me. And I had a life coach that I could believe in her belief, that, something that it was going to be fine. And there were definitely some scary moments. Sometimes chemo can take people out before cancer, and there was a little scare there. And so, yeah, it was quite a ride, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then all that. I think I saw you around September, so a little before there were 3 month, our kiddos were 3 month old, I think.
Mhm.
Or maybe they were just
Yes.
1 month. And I got to see your mama
Yeah.
and baby
Mhm.
Aaliyah. And yeah, you were in it. You were hanging on and you were so strong and you are strong. And yeah, so that was after chemo and radiation, I'm assuming, because
End of August, I finished all of it. It was, yeah, 35 radiation, 3 chemo. Yeah.
and then to give birth and then have a surgery. This was tonsillectomy. So you were out and then you got it done and right, you were put out
Mhm.
right? And then came back and stepped
Well,
into
I was still there. Yeah.
non-sleeping, breastfeeding, and you know, incredible.
Yeah. It feels like forever ago, but yeah.
And you hit something that like I truly feel too, like about cancer, like it being like an initiation, right? Did you feel like you said something like, "Oh, I'm here. It's a lesson. I'm gonna learn. Like I'm here to learn something."
Hmm.
And you said it with like this, like with like
Hmm.
such a truth to it, And
Yeah.
I felt like that with after the why me victimhood, like fuck you world, like after all of that comes in. But
Hmm.
share with me, like share with me about that.
Yeah. There was, I think, having gone through the coaching training and everything, and then just being immersed in the mindset, like I leaned into that so hard, but I also, when I'm like driving myself to go get radiation and, not being able to eat, I was like cussing people out in my head, like watching an old man smoking a cigarette walk down the street, like, you get to live, like, what the hell? There was definitely moments of like resentment and like, what the fuck, like, I eat well. I do yoga. I take care of myself.
All the shit. I knew all the shit was sorry.
Yes. Yeah, like, you get to live, you get to live. Like, you have no idea, like, nobody knows, but
Yeah.
that's also grief. That's like grieving the version of you. But yeah, it's like this initiation, like there's no going back. Like, I'm gonna learn all of this stuff, and then it makes it like, yeah, like you can really only relate to to life now in another way, because there's like before and after, and I think that's for many things that are traumatic, even having a baby, that's like before kids, after kids, before cancer, after cancer, before losing somebody, after, like really being immersed in grief and navigating those waters. Like, yeah, it is like multiple initiations, and then COVID and
Yeah.
when the whole world
Yeah.
got complex PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
in it, man.
We were in it. That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, baby is definitely an initiation. Definitely initiation. I always think of like baby, like having a baby. It's like no baby is like single so hard. Even though I was married, like it's like single so hard versus like married so like I don't know why. Like I was single. Like I don't know why I think of like when I didn't have kids, I was single. Now like it like formed us to be a bond. But yeah, yeah, cancer. Deep initiation. Like what, like what do you feel like you learned from it, or what do you think it was teaching you? Or,
Um,
I mean,
Definitely how to, I mean, I definitely was like, okay, in the throat chakra, and I learned about really understanding what the power of my voice, and maybe how much I had held back, or sort of filtered what I said for so long, and learn to stay silent, and to swallow discomfort, and not totally speak my truth, like just tolerate and micro, manage the temperature of people's emotional reactions around me, which was like, wow, it's a form of manipulation of myself and other, even in others in some ways. And so part of that was really unpacking that. And I think it happens anyway when you have children, when you're like, okay, maybe I wouldn't stand up for myself in this way, but I would burn cities for my kids. So I'm going to start speaking up about all of the things, and this is creating boundaries. Not even, I didn't even have language for what boundaries were at the time. But and then there's so much pushback on that because people are used to you being a certain way or behaving and reacting a certain way. So when that starts to shift, that paradigm starts to shift, and you start speaking out about these are what my needs are. This is what I think is the best for my kid. People get uncomfortable and you get a lot of pushback. And so there's so much growth and learning and adaptation that has to happen during that time. I mean, my whole world got flipped upside down in so many ways, but it was all part of, you shared a video of um, a caterpillar in its cocoon liquefying, dissolving. And I feel like that was all part of that dissolving, that dissolution and and re, you know, reparenting myself and reorganizing myself in a way to not only show up best for my kid, but to show up best for myself and to learn how to model that. Like, who do I really want to be and how do I want to show up in the world? Not what would be best for my family or my partner or whatever, but what would be best for me and what would be best, how do I do that in my most authentic way, and not compromise my integrity and not, um, and then, that I feel like liberated a lot of people who may or may not be in my life, but to like, oh, it's like a permission slip then for other people in my life to let me show up in my most authentic way too. Let me tell you how I think and feel and what's bubbling up for me. And like, yeah, let's talk about that, because it's hard to sit in a surface level conversation even anymore. It's like, like let's go in or not at all.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
anymore. Time becomes like a thing after,
Oh,
right? Like cancer diagnosis. Yeah, like time. I mean, for me, that was, yeah, yeah.
it's an unrepeatable and I value it. I value your time. I value my time. Yeah. It's about time.
And yeah, it's heavy stuff. It's heavy stuff. It's heavy stuff, that whole cancer thing, you know. Mine was cancer first and then baby. Like I found out had cancer, and then like after a week of diagnosis of like the biopsy results, like I'm like, I'm pregnant and I gotta get another nodule biopsied, and then that was benign, thank goodness. But yeah, and also taught me trust. Like everything's gonna be okay. And then boom, I wasn't trusting enough because then my placenta didn't grow. So then baby Iden had to teach me trust, the universe. So it's such a teacher, cancer. And, it's like, are you learning, surrendering and trust in, right?
Yeah. It's a truth serum for sure. And, and yeah, it's feel lucky to that we're both still here,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, with our babies and
yes. And just another thing is for, us females, we're about the same age in our 40s, and, you know, I feel like collectively, I don't know if it was like the recent CE. I think I did a CE last year. I think thyroid cancer now is the highest cancer for women now,
Mhm.
most prevalent, I believe. I had that.
I think
Nikki
I
had,
heard that too.
yeah, right. And then Nikki, yours was oral cancer, or was it throat? What would it be?
Throat cancer. Yeah, squamous cell carcinoma. So it's like a skin cancer
In the throat.
in
Wow.
the throat. Yeah.
That goes everywhere, right? For the dental folks. But for us, like, I mean, one is we need to, as women, we need to really be in tune with our body. Like you found it on our own, your own. I was
Mhm.
a crazy lunatic. I was like, oh, energy is not moving through my throat. I need ultrasound. Like I went to my nurse practitioner
Mhm.
next door and I was like, he's like, I don't feel any nodule. And yeah, I didn't feel a nodule either, but I knew energy wasn't flowing. And sure enough, they found 4 millimeter suspicious lesion, a nodule, and but too small to biopsy. And then COVID happened, and I couldn't biopsy it. And then when it was time to biopsy, got it at like what I got it at 8 mil. It was so good. The guy who did it, doctors, I forget, Spira, I think his name, did it, and so smooth. He got it, and then it was cancerous. And then a week later, I found out I was pregnant. So it was like death, then like this like shock of like, ah, why me? Like the same thing, just like, why fucking me? Like I eat clean, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like, then I know like it runs, then I blame dentistry so much for it because it's just like the prevalence of how much you get. And then my another savior, my hygienist had it at that we got diagnosed
Yeah.
2 weeks apart. 2 weeks apart.
Wow.
And it's just like these stories like help us so much. Like it's like we're getting
Yeah.
educated at the same time. And I feel like for a woman with all these like fifth chakra stuff that's happening, is for us to like speak up, like all our ancestral,
Yeah.
like our grandma not speaking out loud or being
Yeah.
like it's like
Right.
stuck here.
There's
And
such a deep such a deep conditioning to silence women or not listen to women when we have such a strong, powerful intuition, and we've learned are learning how to advocate for ourselves so strongly and for each other. It's absolutely necessary. It's absolutely necessary because yeah, and we have to override that conditioning, and us being able to step into that is doing generational healing. It is doing healing for our ancestors. And yeah, I feel like they're showing up, like, helping move us forward too from the other side even.
yeah, and it might be just like too woo-woo-y, but like I do feel like it's like a poison that was residual that we have to eliminate in our
Yeah.
body to move
Yeah.
forward. You know what I mean? Like I do feel like even though it sucks not having a thyroid, I do feel like I have to navigate myself so differently now. Like, do you feel the same way? Like after the surgery, like it's like you now have to navigate your energy in a different way, like how the energy flows in a different
Mhm.
way to move forward. I don't know if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
definitely. It's definitely, I mean, I have a totally different awareness of my body. It's like a different body, like all the side effects of, not being able to eat and still having like not as much moisture in my mouth. My taste buds changed a lot. I can taste everything again, but I like different things. So my relationship with food, instead of maybe becoming more healthy. I mean, I like how certain foods make my body feel, so I have that connection. But I also like I want to enjoy the flavor and the taste because I couldn't for like 5 weeks, and I'm like, food is quality of life, like it just is. So
Five
yeah, I have such
weeks
a
and then like getting
interesting,
your taste buds back. Like that's another like many years, right?
yeah. I mean, at least 3 years before, yeah, I felt like I could like eat a sandwich. It was
Oh,
just like a lot
I
of, it was so dry, like the bread and like bread and chicken together, still kind of hard to like, yeah,
that's why we gotta go
process all of that. Like a
away
lot of water. Yeah.
the moisturing. That's like the only part that's like true for low saliva. Um, yeah, but what a
Yeah.
journey we went through. What a journey. And then like this
Mhm.
really like I was able to lean on her because there was so much like I decided to wait. Like I was like, I trust God, I trust. I'm not gonna do the surgery till, after. I mean, the ENT was like, we could wait till after the baby and then we'll evaluate. And he kept doing the ultrasound every like 3 months to check it's not growing and growing. And then I wanted to wait for a whole year to breastfeed, and then it didn't grow. And then I went and yeah, and then yeah, it just
You're a warrior. Like you're such a warrior. You're so patient and monitored it, and you are holding you and your baby in this balance and trying to, give all of your enrichment to Aiden, that you could, and to be able to show up during that critical time and having a team of support and warrior.
yeah.
Amazing.
But the support, you guys, and then I mean, like, Iden was a little thing. I couldn't be like, "Peace out, baby, you little one." He was little. He was like four. He was born with 4 pounds 10 ounces, so he was little. I couldn't give him formula, like I couldn't. I just couldn't. So I was, yeah, but it's good. It kept testing me trust, so I learned it and learned it and learned it and learned it, and now I'm living in trust, but it's a it's a big initiation. I feel like I'm so grateful for cancer. Like it's such a weird thing to say, but I am grateful for it to be that cancer too. Nothing anymore than
Yeah.
that, because cancer is scary and I'm not trying to minimize it, but it's
Yeah.
a scary thing.
And I think that's with any like dark night of the soul, right? Like we wouldn't wish the experience on anyone, but everything it came here to teach us, we would want for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not even about if it'll happen, it's kind of when, you know, like everybody's going to go through something, and to have a support system, to have language for it, and um to really, yeah, tune into your body and what your intuition on how to move forward, and not become the victim of it, but to become the warrior of it. I think that is, there's two different ways to navigate it, really.
Yeah.
And it's not saying that it's not hard and where you don't have hard days, and like that's all true and real. There's no spiritual bypass. Like you gotta go through it. You gotta like dive headfirst into the mud,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I really feel like that, like the process of the emotion that you have to have for going through cancer is unwavering. Like it's just like, gotta do it. Like you gotta, I mean, it's scary, but at the same time, I feel like you have no choice other than be hopeful, right?
Mhm.
You have no other choice.
Yeah,
It really puts you into that hopeful space and prayers and trust and, the power of the divine, and whatever happens, happens, but I'm giving it all kind of
yeah,
energy. I don't know. It's a good training ground for sure, you know.
yeah. It's the arena.
It's the
It's the
arena.
arena.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, yes.
yeah.
So I'm gonna check the time. Good. We still have about 10 minutes, Nikki. And
Mhm.
yeah, with I just want to ask you, like with all this experience, like how has it shaped the now? How has it shaped the now? Like, how are you showing up, you know? And how, like, what would you say to someone that's like, that might be going through like something like this, like pregnant and cancer or cancer and because it's happening more and more, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, I, there's definitely a complete evolution of who you become through it. And it's a different lens to move through life with. For sure. It is about, kind of sucking the marrow out of life and not holding back, not waiting for things to be perfect, but taking imperfect action to live into a life that you really love and deserve and owning that, not shying away from like, no, this is what I deserve. And let me lean into that. Let me, if there isn't a seat at the table, I'm going to build my own table and learning how to just kind of take charge to not do life by default, but by design. And maybe we're living into things, what you're creating for you and your family. Maybe it hasn't been done before, but you're creating the path, you're paving the way. And I see a lot of people doing that, and it's so empowering that everybody's on this different journey, creating things that haven't been created before. And maybe that's part of it, this awakening to this creative energy and what we don't allow anymore, but we have to safeguard and stand guard at the portal of our mind, and not even our minds, but the portal of our soul. Where we disperse our energy is so important. Where attention goes, energy flows, right? Where energy goes, energy flows. So we have to be so mindful of what we're putting our love and attention into, because that's going to expand. And we have to make sure it's also feeding us in a way, like how am I also getting fed by pouring into this thing? Because that that serendipity, that synergy is so beautiful. And that you can find that in the most simple, mundane things. My vision of what I wanted for my life before, dream building and like I still want all of that. I still want to lead retreats and I still want to do XYZ and travel, but I also feel like my relationships and the people that I pour into, like that is the real gold. Like that's what I want to nurture and pour into, and the depth of that and the strength of that. And I don't know, like nothing feels more important than that to me, than the connections that I have. Yeah.
So like the values totally shifted, right? Yeah, it's totally shifted for sure. And it's, yeah, same with me. Like I like after that, it's like, no, 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 no. I gotta take back this part of my energy. I gotta take back. And then like when things are not going like how I wanted, like in the lesser goal, like I always say, you know,
Yeah.
the clear path goes to the lesser goal, and the clear path that I had, like super clear, super clear, super clear, clear, crystal clear. I had crystal clear. Yeah. And but even that was bringing a little bit of obstacles,
For
and
sure. Yeah.
people that I thought were a friend were actually like a real deep medicine in paving my
Mhm.
way out of dentistry. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm really grateful that, you know, we're creating this path from this medicine, this initiation. Like, I just feel like this I mean, I don't know if you agree, but this for us, like, up levels our healing ability, don't you think? Like,
Oh, for sure.
having this, like, total duality of fear, birth, cancer, death, hope, trust, like it's just so much spaciousness that we have to hold all this. Like if we bind in one of these things, it just we crumble. Like we just have to keep creating space around these energetic knots that are created from our experience. And I just feel like because of that, like my intuition rose even more,
Yeah.
feeling level, like I feel like expanded more. And then now, like
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, like I could trust. I mean, I'm still like waver, I could trust this new life and like just like I trusted that I will live, my baby will survive, this will be, this
Mhm.
energy of expansiveness, keep expanding
Mhm.
on what you learned one level, step at a time, and we quiver. We quiver.
Yeah, there's some wobble sometimes, but we're still
Poke out.
stacking.
They get poke out, but it's when the easier path is closest to you, you're divinely guided too.
Yeah.
It's just
And do
such,
you feel like that trust is like also love? Like, do you feel like that, like life force energy? Like the more I connect with life force energy, the more I can't discern it from love. And so I feel like that, I don't know, maybe they just like layer, but I feel like what that real trust is like it's love
yeah,
that and I've and maybe that is a privilege to really like know what that feels like and to lean into that, you know?
yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Like if I didn't get pregnant with that Iden, someone that decides to get incarnated with a mother that's going through cancer, like Aliyah, you know what I mean? Like that's a baby that unconditionally loves you. Like I'll pick a womb that could crumble anytime because I want to teach her that, life is full of trust. Like I could totally cry, but like this is
Yeah,
what our babies are. Like they teach us unconditional love so deeply. Like your womb
yeah.
sucks, like you couldn't even grow up placenta, but I'm gonna still pick that womb, mommy. I'm gonna pick that womb. I'm gonna
My placenta was also messed up.
I'm gonna pick
Didn't want to come
that
out.
shitty house. I'm gonna pick that shitty house. I'm gonna come out small. And then you have to go through
Yeah.
cancer. I'm gonna choose not to be breastfed for Aaliyah. It's okay.
Well, yeah, Aaliyah got 2 weeks and then I like all the mamas showed up. I got breast milk from at least 5 different women. She was breastfed she was fed with breast milk for the first full year of her life.
That's amazing. That's so amazing.
Exclusively.
But like
I know.
the level of unconditional love that the babies had to go into us, with like all these unknown and all these like
Yeah.
obstacles, and then it just happened. It's just like
Yeah.
I got to have like she trusted everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I then crawled with his little crawly little tiny body onto my boobies and then I had a
Mhm.
lactation. He latched like so much faster than size. I was like freaking giant dummy, I swear. That first baby. I was like, what am I doing? I've never been on Earth before. This is my first Earth human experience. Yeah, sorry, it's just so
You came to teach us so much. Yeah.
numbers and
Sai is the best teacher.
numbers and weird things and chemistry and yeah, he's amazing, sure. But yeah, these grounded babies, Aaliyah and Aiden, are
Yeah.
they're incredible.
And
Yeah.
they have a little bond too. It's cool how,
Really,
yeah.
they really do. They're so cute. Yeah, teaching us unconditional love. And yeah, I totally, yeah, I resonate with all that. The trust, unconditional love, faith. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the importance of like protecting our peace too, and protecting their peace, to keep the like boundaries are about love. It's not armor. It's not, it's to keep everybody safe and it's to to be the freest version of ourselves in that safe space, like that safety. That's magical.
Well, thank you, Nikki. Do you have
Thank
anything
you.
else to share? And do you want to share things you're doing, your writing, or uh, yeah, share away your website,
Yeah.
how to connect to.
Yeah, I've kind of been honing in on writing and working with a coach, Tucky, that you introduced me to, and she's been opening up so many different pathways of expression in my mind, and I had no idea where this would lead to, but I'm starting to share. I had started Substack and then started working with her, and I've kind of been hoarding a lot of things, but I'm slowly starting to drip some of that out that feels worthy of sharing, that something opened up in me that I don't know where it came from, but it's not even mine. Like just put it out there. So yeah, Substack and energy work, and I started coaching again, which feels really good and in alignment. I just thought like I should do this, and then somebody the next day reached out to me, and so here we go. Um, yeah, you ask and you shall receive.
Yes. And is
Yeah.
how could they contact you like through your email or what would be the best way?
Yeah, I guess email would be best. It's nikki.evolvewellness@gmail.com. Yeah.
Thanks, Nikki. Thank you.
You,
And then I'm like
um,
Kentucky that I'm gonna be doing this, and I told her that she has to get on Zoom, and she's like, "I'm gonna put a cloth over my head so people can't see me." I'm like, "Of course you will. This would be so funny." Of course you will.
uh,
You know, she's not gonna even black the screen. She's gonna put like a cloth over her
yeah.
head. Mysterious ghost Tucky.
Uh, I love her so much.
She's so funny. Oh, I love you. I love
I
you.
love you.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you.
so glad. Well, connecting Nikki, and this is Mama Monday, Mama Monday. So nurture yourself and any hard time, our divine mother's being guided. It's so right, right. Our babies are guiding us, all that, and then ways to
Absolutely.
nurture ourselves. Okay, love you guys, and I love you, Nikki. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Love you. Bye.